You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Rope Break.
And family, it is time for NXT. So we're going to be talking about the Fallout show for what it was NXT Takeover in your house. You know that the review for that show is in the channel, so you can go watch that. Jean-Paul, new storylines are building right away. So that's interesting, that's fresh, that's cool. And also, finally, we know the path for our NXT champion, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, because we knew it couldn't have been the Velveteen Dream. He wasn't allowed to challenge as long as Adam Cole was champion. So it's like, oh, is it going to be Dexter Lumis? You know, he was having the match tonight. And I think we got our answer where this is going. But I thought this was a great show. Normally the Fallout shows, we always say, they're kind of like, all right, they just, they had this big exciting takeover. Now they got to cool down. But I thought this show was good. Io Shirai, we saw some stuff from the women's champion. And, Rhea Ripley kind of moving forward. So they're touched on really everything. And it was, I thought, a good episode.
Yes, exactly. So, family, thank you so very much for watching the videos, for helping us out to keep growing the brand. So, we're very thankful for that. So, Jean-Paul has opened the show with, the Undisputed Era. They came out, of course, and they were celebrating. Adam Cole says, well, I'm the longest NXT champion. And, people thought anything otherwise. People thought that I wasn't going to be the Velveteen Dream. What's going on here? And everybody's like, you suck. And Cole was also talking about how Dexter Lumis is a freak. He's just making Roderick Strong go really crazy because he was right there in the crowd. Like, oh, he's right there, and then they will take him off. And it's like, relax, settle down, Roderick. Settle down.
Yeah, I don't know what he did to him when he had him in that trunk for 12 hours. And then they said he woke up in his living room or something. I was did he have clothes on? What happened?
That was the theme of this whole episode, because that was the storyline is the Undisputed Era going against Dexter Lumis. A pretty decent opening of the show. I really enjoy when Adam Cole is in those kind of promos. He hits them really well.
Oh yeah, everything he said was good, and I liked when he even kind of broke the promo mode, and he's like, guys, he's like, calm down, stop being bullshit. Dexter Lumis isn't here. He's like, let me cut my promo when we get out of here. And Roderick's freaking out. It was like you said, really great opening.
He's right there. So I really enjoy that also. But see, like you said, it is important just to see how Adam Cole at least is addressing everybody that is messing with the Undisputed Era. So that's pretty cool to know. And now, Jean-Paul, we have a mixed match tag. That we thought, at least I thought, that was going to be the match at NXT Takeover in your house, and that's Mia Yim and Keith Lee going against the Garganos. This match was pretty good. I like the fact that they did something that they don't like to do a lot, is the gender matches. They had actually the men went against the women, and I like when they interact like that.
It was good because we kind of said in the NXT review, or I said in the NXT review, it's Mia Yim, she's closer in size to Johnny Gargano than Keith Lee is. So when she did a German suplex and stuff to him, you're like, oh, okay, it's legit. But I like when Keith Lee, he just grabbed Candace like she was a teddy bear, he's like, what do I do? He's like, and he just sets her down, and he's like, okay, you're good.
I like that. See, again, like you said, when they mix guys and girls is always interesting, is always fun. And see, that's what this match was about. They had a lot of good interactions. Like you said, the German suplexes. Also, I really love when Gargano kind of did the DDT into it, and from outside of the ring in, and then Candice kind of makes it.
Yeah. I think they call that the last beat. They changed it. Because it's supposed to be that match, the last beat, that DDT. Yeah, he did that onto Candice, and I mean that was a good spot, and I like how you see how heel he is, where he didn't he throw her at Keith Lee, or he did something where I
think he did an enziguri, and then she kind of finished it with the DDT, and she's like, did I do that? Yeah.
Well, no, he rolled her out of the ring, he threw her or something out of the ring, because you see her lifeless body fly out of the ring, and she just takes this bump like rag dolls. And then when he wins, he rolls out and he picks her up. It's Weekend at Bernie's. He has the dead body in it. He's
Yeah. So that was cool. And I see Gargano doesn't even care about his wife's health. And Keith Lee did, because Keith Lee's what the hell? Trying to see what's going on with her. But Gargano kind of takes advantage, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Gargano's win. So pretty decent beginning in a match-wise, I will say. I
Yeah,
really
it was a
like the
good match,
rivalry.
and yeah, I like it too because of the match quality. But I just want to know, like, I'm trying to think where this feud goes.
Yeah.
Because what we saw later in the night, I don't think the feud is about the belt anymore. So now it's just about like respect because they were calling each other out. But eventually, you're only going to get one, maybe two more matches out of this storyline for me, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So then you got to think of something to move these guys on to.
Yeah, like we'll see what happens. I don't know. I was like, actually cool with like this feud, but like you said, there's more elements added to these storylines, and we're gonna keep going through them. But first, we go to a recap that the match with Finn Balor and Damian Priest from In Your House, and like you said, Damian Priest kind of is signifying he's trying to like go into the face way because the promo that he cut afterwards actually kind of had a lot of babyface connotations. He says he's going to live forever. Finn Balor was the better man, right?
Yeah, he kind of showed like respect to Finn Balor. It wasn't like, oh yeah, you know, like I'm just here to, you know, like fuck bitches and, you know, kick Finn Balor's ass. He was like, no, you know, hey, Balor was the better man, but people saw the performance I gave, you know, they're gonna remember who Damian Priest is. My name's gonna live forever, you know. So all that stuff. Again, he showed respect. It wasn't like heel, you know, he wasn't calling anybody out. And then of course we saw Finn Balor's opponent, Cameron Grimes, you know, he came up and I believe he was mouthing off like, oh, yeah, you know, I beat Finn Balor, blah, blah, blah. Like,
if you want to know how to beat Finn Balor, you know, and then...
yeah, and then he, you know, I mean, not that he wouldn't do this as a heel, but he then, you know, knocked Cameron Grimes in the mouth. And Cameron Grimes, like, I feel like when his character first came in, like when him and Kushida were kind of going at it, you almost took him serious. Now he's like, he's legit to a sense in the ring, but he's more of like a joke guy now.
Yeah, no, yeah, like, and for example, like, Damian Priest was like, okay, and he's on the floor, oh, carry on, you know, like, and like you said, like, well, later in the night, then Cameron Grimes refused to have the match because he was saying that he had a broken jaw, you know, and then the referee of that match was actually talking to William Regal, and then William Regal is like, really? Because he was talking to like two chicks, and he's like, get ready, warm up, because your match is gonna keep going.
Yeah, and then he like I said, I always pop when he calls people sunshine. He's like, listen here, sunshine. It's like get ready for your match, and I was like,
yeah, well, William Regal is legit, you know.
Oh yeah,
William Regal is probably the greatest manager, you know, that in any company.
I'm gonna say William Regal. To me, he's one of those guys. To me, he's one of them guys where he needed to have more gold in WWE.
Oh yeah,
it was like, you know what I mean. He was so good, and it was just like, eh.
At least he had a decent career. I will tell you. Yeah. At least he had a decent career in WWE because, you know, he had like some kind of like good storylines. Maybe never like the WWE Championship, but at least he was IC champ. He was European. He was tag champ so many times. He was King of the Ring. So like he was hardcore at some point, I believe. So like he had like all the titles, but the main ones he never even had matches for. I remember.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, good stuff on that. So like we actually get a recap from Io Shirai's winning like the NXT Women's Championship. That was extremely great. I saw a video of her getting the plates. And see, that's something that I'm not a big fan of because I like the title to keep it as it is. But, you know, I don't like the personalized.
I like the old school way where, like, if you did anything, it was just like the name. Like the little name on the front. I don't mind that, you know. But the side plates, I like, yeah, keep the side plates uniform for everybody.
Yeah, so like I like that, but you know, we got to see the reactions of people when Io won the title. That was really cool. Shan Nakamura,
yeah,
and Asuka.
Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah,
you know, like that. Well, this is the only time that he actually does it anymore because he pretty much sucks. And
I mean, that's probably the only happiness he felt in the last like year and a half of his WWE run.
Yeah, and then Asuka was congratulating the whole WWE universe, the whole world, you know.
I was pissed they didn't show Kyrie. I'm like, what the hell? The Sky Pirates, they were a legit team.
The injury with like with Nia Jax, so like I think that's why I was waiting for Kyrie. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? They're like legit friends.
Yeah, man. But
I mean, all of them are friends, but it's like, you know, her and Kyrie especially. I'm like, come on.
They're not like, you know, they're not like Hispanics that we actually despise each other. Actually, they stay together. Or, you know, yeah, I said it. So, Jean-Paul, talking about like other like races, we go to Indus-Sher. Indus-Sher, like they have a match pretty quick. You know, Indus-Sher, like, you know, like you said in the NXT review, devastating like tag team. They're pretty important. Then they're trying to get that championship opportunity, but they kind of backed off a little bit because they thought that it was going to be really too soon to put the titles on them because they were fairly fresh, fairly new.
Oh,
So
yeah. I mean,
that's why they went with Imperium.
Yeah, and it's not like the old days where you debut a team like the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, whatever you want to call them, and you're like, oh shit, look at these guys, and you give them the belts immediately. In today's day and age, people will be like, who the hell are these guys?
Yes.
You know, it's like a different audience now, so we're going to want to kind of know who they are, have Malcolm Bivens speak some more, you know, have him be like a more asshole manager. So it's like, oh, we hate these guys, and then when they win the belts, oh, we can't wait till these guys lose the belts, and then you're going to be cheering for the babyface team you build up. Exactly. And I don't know. And for me, I think it might be the opposite because what we saw from Breezango, I mean, that was to me was a super legit promo.
That was super legit. Yeah, and I was gonna go on that. Like, that was next because, like I said, the match with Indus Sher pretty simple, quick. You know,
it was jobbers. Did these guys even have any names?
Match.
You know what I mean?
Main move done, but like the promo, like you said, like over Tyler Breeze and Fandango, good stuff because they acknowledge themselves. It's like,
they acknowledge. Yeah,
but we go to SmackDown and we were crap.
I like that when he was like, "Oh, weren't we doctors? Oh, weren't we this?" It's like, yeah, but were we ever taken legit? No. Were we ever tag champs? You know, no. And it's like, I like the thing where he's like, "Oh, your debut, WrestleMania, you win," and it's like, "What about you on NXT matches with like Jushin Thunder Liger and all these legit guys?" You know, I think it's Sami Zayn. Yeah. And it's like, you know, what do you have to show for it? So they're like, okay, you know, enough playing around, enough of the fashion bullshit. You know, we're here to kick ass. And I'm like, this is what we want to see. And I feel, you know, Matt Riddle's not there. Pete Dunne, you know, that team is gone. It's like, what kind of babyface tag teams do we really have? I think if, you know, you're not going to go with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, unfortunately, then I think Breezango is the obvious choice. Get them the belts.
Yeah, and then absolutely right. And hopefully Fandango doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
Because we know how injury-prone Fandango is, but if he is able to remain healthy, this has a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have a match next week with Imperium, you know, so for the title, so we'll see what happens. Do I see a title switch? Probably not, but at least I will see a nice
and actually both tag titles are being defended next week, too, because they're actually defending the women's tag titles with your girl Tegan Knox.
Tegan and Shotzi, they're going to go against whoever wins.
So that to me will be a legit match. Do I think they're going to win it? Probably not. There's probably going to be some storyline implication, something with NXT, some other women will come out or something. But to me, it's a legit way. And with that being said, it's Bayley and Sasha are going to retain. I'm calling it right now because you're not going to bring Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to NXT, and you're not going to bring the Iconics. If you're bringing the Iconics, then they're going to lose the belts to
Tegan and Shotzi, and I mean, it will be different too because it's like, oh, the NXT tag team champions, or at least the women's tag team champions, are on NXT. So that
now with as many women as they have, you could honestly put the titles on NXT and then do the Dusty Classic for the women.
Yeah, that will be a good idea. Also, that will be because you have that many talented women right now.
Yeah, and look at the men's roster. How many tag teams do you have? It's like,
that's what I mean. So like that's exactly what they should do. So now Jean Paul, let's go with like Casey Catanzaro going against Dakota Kai. You know, like you said, like Dakota Kai is still upset because she got pinned on NXT Takeover in Your House. She's upset because there's some kind of tension with Raquel. You know, we thought that these two girls that were gonna have a legit run, meaning like it will be devastating, they will dominate. But so far, so far nothing. But like this match with Casey Catanzaro was pretty good. Casey Catanzaro pretty athletic. She's learning from the one and only Ricochet. She put a nice effort, but in the end,
I think she was on that like American Ninja Warrior or something. So you got to be pretty athletic or some kind of gymnastic, like, you know, show like that. But
yes.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of like a glorified squash match, I would say. You know, she looked good. She had like a sunset flip power bomb or some kind of move, or I think she might have even just rolled her up. It might not have even been like a bomb or anything, but you know, some legit moves here, like you said, really athletic. But you know, this was just, hey, Dakota Kai's here. She's, you know, probably going to be the number one contender, or at least at some point.
Yeah, no, exactly. So maybe that's where this is going. But like, at the end, Captain of King Tim Kick wins, and then they were trying to keep beating her up, and then Kaden Carter, she shows up, and then she's trying to defend Casey Catanzaro. She kind of had the upper hand a little bit, but then Raquel Gonzalez like got her, and then powerbomb. And done. And like you
said, see, look at that. And what's this? This is now two teams or four women that could be, like I said, in a women's Dusty Classic.
Yeah,
so you see all these women that are here, and it's like, they're using them, but
they
it's
use them by
interesting to
like in
see.
bits and pieces. You're
Yeah.
right, but like even like the one important thing, like you said, Dakota goes, I'm going for the NXT title. So that's at least, like you said, you have a goal. You have something that you're pursuing to. So that's really important. Somebody that doesn't have any goals right now is Tommaso Ciampa. They had like a tiny video package, and then the interviewer was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" It's like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's like, "Well, you're the last man in the building." It's like, "What happened in your match?" So, do you think that you were ready for Karrion Kross? Like, is he too much for you? So, and then he took off. So we don't know what. Like, maybe he's gonna take a few months off. I think that's what they're gonna try to do. And then maybe when Karrion is champion,
yeah. I know Ciampa has a little girl, and he was laid off of that neck surgery for a while, whatever. I don't know what him and his wife are doing. Hey, maybe there's another baby on the way. I don't follow his Instagram, so I don't know. I don't know his personal life. But he said he could be taking time off. Maybe his neck is flaring up. I hope it's not an injury. I'm not the biggest Tommaso Ciampa fan, but he is a crucial part of NXT.
Yes.
NXT would hurt without him. So I hope it's not anything injury related. I hope it's something, like I said, maybe, wife pregnancy or something, but we'll see. It could just be storyline and he'll be back in a week or two or something.
Yes, yeah, that could be also. So now we have like Robert Stone is still done because of the situation with Chelsea Green. She pretty much fired him, so he hasn't had any showers. He lost power like I did, a week ago. So like he goes to Rhea Ripley and he's like, hey, you could be the newest member of the Robert Stone brand. And we could be legit. I'll be the manager. I'll be the one getting you the matches. And you just got to go there, kick ass. We'll get the championship back. Rhea Ripley said there's one chance in a million for us to be actually partners. And he goes, well, there's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah, isn't that for Beavis and Butthead? Or not Beavis and Butthead, Dumb and Dumber?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's for Dumb and Dumber. He's like, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Yes.
Yeah,
like so that. And then Rhea goes, come here. And then pretty much beats him. And then, she does a body slam onto, like, I think it was like a container of, like, clothes or something. And he's like, done. So, like, you will, I like when the girls get the upper hand on the man.
I like this because I feel like he's eventually gonna trick someone to join him, but he's probably gonna have he's probably gonna wear the same suit next week that he had on tonight that was all torn up and all bullshit. So it's just gonna be like he's gonna be so disheveled and to me it's funny. It's funny because, like you said, it's like Rhea Ripley just kicked this dude's ass.
Oh yeah, pretty interesting. And funny and nice, and it is like a switch in on the whole like seriousness of the show because you got more serious because Finn Balor went actually with Cameron Grimes. They put on a really great match, like you said. Cameron Grimes is pretty good. Unfortunately, his character has gotten a little more humoristic.
And I don't care that he's funny, but with him kind of going down this path, I don't see him ever holding NXT Gold unless it would be in a tag team. I don't see him beating because all the champions are serious. Keith Lee, he's a serious guy. He likes to, maybe like laugh and he's babyface, but he's all serious. Yes. Adam Cole, clearly same thing, serious heel champion. So it's like, do I see this funny guy, beating him? No. But he is legit in the ring, and, Finn Balor to me is the most legit guy, I think, on NXT. But am I a Finn Balor mark? Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But but the match is held pretty well, and this time, of course, we got the real winner, the guy that should have won the whole time, should have won like 2-3 weeks ago when Damian Priest attacked Finn Balor. He got of course, coup de grace, and this time he finished it with 1916. Really good stuff. And Finn Balor this time, though, it doesn't matter what happened with Cameron Grimes. That thing is already like dust off, and hey, we're not touching on this ever again. He actually eyesight Keith Lee.
Yep, he called out Keith Lee, and like you said, with him calling out Keith Lee and nothing with Cameron Grimes, to me, that's another thing. Okay, he turned... not Cameron Grimes, I'm sorry. Damian Priest. Like, it wasn't nothing... We didn't see Priest come out again. Wasn't anything like that. That's why I think Priest is... I think he's babyface, and obviously Cameron Grimes, he beat him now. He should have beat him the first time, like you said. So he's not doing anything with him anymore. And Keith Lee. So he calls out Keith Lee, but Keith Lee also was kind of talking to the Undisputed Era during the show as well. And he's like, oh, yeah, Adam Cole, like, he's like eyeing up his gold. He wants to be Keith 2 belts. Like, there's Bailey Dose belts. He wants to get on that train.
Yes.
Or Bailey Dose straps, I think she calls
2 straps.
But,
like belts, straps, same.
But it's like, legit, Keith Lee wants to challenge, but then what we saw in the main event, that kind of cancels that. So, I definitely could see Finn Balor coming up, beating Keith Lee, because like I said, you have the storyline with Candice and all that. It's like, how many storylines can he be in? And the main storyline he's in with his girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever Mia Yim is the belt's not the focus. So give the belt to a guy like Finn Balor. He said, I never held the belt. And to me, he would make it way more legit.
Oh, yeah.
Not that Keith Lee doesn't, but just, he would take it a step up, I think.
It will be good. Like we'll see where, like you said, there's too many interjections, and like the storylines are like too interjected right now. So like we'll see where they really deviate, and they go to like clear paths. Going to, like you said, maybe Keith Lee goes to Finn Balor, Gargano kind of like deviates somewhere else, or they can do the one thing that I love the most, the triple threat. So we will know. But like that was pretty interesting, and Balor, like his value in NXT is so important because like see everything that he touches makes it more important and more enticing for people to keep watching. So that is something that I think.
Imagine if that was him on the main roster. Put him in feuds with Roman Reigns. You get Roman Reigns over.
Oh, well,
put him in feuds with Rollins. You know what I mean?
It will be, if they will give him a legit chance, it will be really great. But let's go to people that actually reveal themselves, and that's Hijo del Fantasma, because he was the cruiserweight champion. For the ones that want to know, he said, "Mom, you're a saint." Why? Because the mom got a tattoo just on Sunday, I think it was, that says Hijo del Fantasma. And thank you, Hijo del Fantasma, for always supporting Roadbreak. Muchas gracias, mijo. Gracias. Anyway, so Hijo del Fantasma says that, and Dre Maverick right away comes out. And he's like, can I cut my promo? Can I live? No. And then Maverick's like, well, I got to show respect. And hey, next time I want to, now that I'm an active member of the NXT roster, I finally signed a contract. I actually won a championship opportunity with you. See?
I like that. I was like, that's legit. But one thing I want to quick say is they did change Drake Maverick's music. It wasn't played very loud, but it wasn't that like bullshit music he was coming out to in the tournament. So I'm like, thank God they changed his music.
Yes. Yeah. So like, and then Hijo del Fantasma says, yes, yeah. See, why not? Mm-hmm. And then they the two masked men kind of showed up, and like Hijo del Fantasma kind of like show himself like he was going to fight with Maverick alongside, but no, they turned on him, and then actually they tend to be members or friends of the Hijo del Fantasma, and they took the mask off, and that's actually Joaquin Wilde, and actually Raul Mendoza. So he's like, oh my God, what the hell, Mamma Mia? And they start attacking Maverick, and then Hijo del Fantasma take his mask off, and then he reveals himself as like pretty much the mastermind of all of this.
Yep, so, and when he took his mask off, tears. I was fine with him demasking, but like I'm like, not right away, because I feel like he didn't even have a run as a baby face, and I think you could have got a little bit more out of him maybe as a baby face, because there are heel cruiserweights. You have Tony Nese, Jack Gallagher, Swerve Scott's kind of like both. He's like a heel and a face. You can kind of play him either way. So I thought Phantasma should have been face still. And it's harder for him to put the mask back on than to take it off.
Oh yeah, but and also to me, like, if you notice it, like without the mask, he could actually speak English. So that was cool.
Oh, his English was legit. He has better English than Andrade, Humberto, and Garza. I would say his English is better than Garza.
Like, I'm El Hijo del Fantasma, and I am untouchable. So I was like, yeah, I didn't know that like the mask gives you like a language like separation.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like start selling it on eBay or stuff like that.
That would be legit. Then I'll be on the Rope Break Espanol, the pay-per-view reviews, and I'll just put the mask on.
That's the Rosetta Stone for the masking. But like you said, done too soon for me. A lot of things were done too soon in the show, and this one was one of them. Why Hijo del Fantasma needed to do that, I didn't see why.
Yeah, because Jordan Devlin is heel.
Yes.
And if they eventually have their match, which should be sooner than later, what are you going to do, heel versus heel? Or are you going to have Phantasma lose it and you're going to give it to Maverick? That would be stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, you build this guy up and then so...
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Like the one thing I kind of like, I kind of appreciate, at the same time I don't appreciate, Mauro Ronaldo said when he unmasked, he's like, oh, Santos Escobar. I don't understand where the Santo came from. Escobar, of course, is Pablo Escobar, the biggest drug dealer in all history. So, of course, like every time that like somebody's a mastermind of something that involves like narco crap, of course you gotta add Escobar to it. I'm like, come on, more. Like, and I'm not offending, so don't be deleting your social media. It's just a comment. Okay,
just block rope break. Don't delete the whole thing.
Don't delete that. So please, more. Yeah, but like other than that, like you said, we don't know what's gonna happen with Jordan Devlin. We don't know what like. There's a lot of I can tell you there was a report that we put on the website that they said that they were not sure when to bring like these guys from Europe.
Yeah, yep.
So like there's not really a clear idea on when because
yeah, I mean
they
to me, I don't know.
Like the least amount of people.
Yeah, I mean, you always have that storyline in your back pocket. I would just be like, okay, yeah, Jordan Devlin, whatever. But like our cruiserweight champion is Phantasmo, and I would do the feud with Kushida.
Yeah,
I would be like,
that's
with
like
Kushida.
face and heel, and of course, like he's gonna be kind of like the Hispanic Undisputed Era because he has the two guys in Mendoza and Wild. So there you go, right there.
Or like I said to you, you could really take another babyface cruiserweight, put him with Maverick and Kushida, and then you do 3 versus 3. You could stretch that out. There's lots of things they could do, but I still would have rather seen him be a babyface.
Yeah, no, and moving along to like another thing that like you said, done way too soon. Dexter Lumis against Adam Cole. Pretty good match, like you said. Dexter Lumis, great guy. No reaction every time that he's hurt, like doesn't say anything. And the match,
he don't sell it. Yeah,
Adam Cole is pretty good. We know what Adam Cole is all about.
And one thing before we actually get into it, how good is Adam Cole at selling for Lumis? He made Lumis look like a monster. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when Lumis would throw him or punch him, it's just like the sell job by Adam Cole is like when people call him Shawn Michaels of current day. You can really see it.
Oh no, a lot of people, they say that guy reminds me of Shawn Michaels, and it's not because the long hair, it's just because of like the fluency, like the flow, like the flawless actions, like how you said, like how he sells, how he's really methodic when it comes to all these things. So like, because you caught on that, a lot of people did also. And it's like, hey, like they're seeing how like he sells. He's not a regular selling. Oh, you punch me, and I'm just go backwards. He's like,
yeah, he got punched, and every punch. Yeah, every punch that Lumis hit on him, Adam Cole fell on his back like he got hit by a truck.
Yes, so like that's all. Like, in the end, the match was pretty decent. I would say pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
Got in the Hanakatame, but of course the Undisputed Era had to act, and even Tom Phillips said he's like, "Oh, we've been seeing this for years." So we know that like in the end, the Undisputed Era, the other two guys are gonna help him out, and that kind of distracted Roderick Strong did an inziguri onto like Lumis, so he's like, oh, kind of like out of it, and then that. Like open the door for like the last shot and 1, 2, 3 and done. So like good stuff. Adam Cole retains, but he wins the match, so he's all happy and everybody's like Uri. But then like the Undisputed Era started like attacking again Dexter Lumis because he got the Hanakatame again.
Yeah, because that's what he said. Like he hit the last shot and it's like, okay, Adam Cole, he's the winner of the match. And then immediately sits up like dead man sits up on like and like done. He has him and it's,
And then but the Velveteen Dream came out. But like you said, to me, completely useless because he's not able to challenge for like the NXT.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, it'll be like, hey, Lumis, a couple weeks ago, you had my back. Tonight I had yours. I'd be like, now we're even.
Yeah. But see, what happened after that, Jean-Paul? Because like we thought, okay, the show's over. We don't know what's going on. But then Scarlett shows up. Lights go off. And Scarlett shows up. And I thought that she was going to like undress. I'm like, that's legit. But like, I'm just
and then you woke up from your dream and you're like, oh, I gotta watch NXT. That's right.
Yes. I was like, oh, it's not over yet. Okay. Well, but she has an hourglass because her body's like an hourglass. There you go. There's curves right there all over the place. So she put that thing in there, and she's like, of course that signifies that like she turned it. So that means the time is right now.
And then she started downloading that bullshit app, TikTok, and it's like, okay, here we go.
So it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
and,
so we know.
Cole, of course, sold it. He's looking like, oh my god, now what's next? So
what's next is the title reign's over because, like we were saying, Karrion Kross ain't gonna lose.
No,
he's gonna lose at some point. Like probably whenever he's gonna get called up to the main roster, that's when I'd have him lose. I wouldn't have him be like Asuka, where it's like I'm undefeated and I just forfeit the belt. I'd have him do the job, but he's clearly gonna be on a winning streak now. So Adam Cole.
I think so.
I'm not even going to be a sarcastic. I'm not even going to give a sarcastic wave. Adam Cole's legit, but his title reign, same thing I said about Karrion Kross's future undefeated streak. Adam Cole's title reign has to come to an end at some point.
Like everything good in life.
Yep.
Some things gotta end. And
but I mean, hopefully that doesn't mean main roster. Hopefully that means
we don't know yet. But like you said, hopefully that's not.
He just signed a 3-year deal, so that's where it's like. We'll
We don't
see.
know.
That could be made roster bound. That could be SmackDown
But
Live money.
in the end, a good show for NXT. A lot
Yep.
better than the ones that are really fallouts from like a pay-per-view. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good because again, we have a lot of stories. Once again, we have the thing with Catanzaro and Dakota Kai. We have Rhea Ripley. We have Io Shirai still kind of like showed up on NXT again.
Yeah, and we
Hijo
have
del
the stuff.
Fantasma.
Yep, the Phantasma, the main event scene, Karrion Kross, the mid-card title with Finn Balor, Keith Lee. You have the tag team, 2 sets of tag team titles, the men and the women. So, the next couple weeks at NXT there, Triple H, I mean, man, he's firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah, he's
and
good.
I would say like the storyline and the story writing and everything they have is a lot better than AEW right now.
It's a lot better because at least they're not relying on, like, for example, like the Mike Tyson thing. I'm not like really in for it, and for example, like the TNT Championship is good, but it's kind of, to me, it's also like lazy because it's like, let's grab anybody that like doesn't even had a championship opportunity.
Nobody's really nobody really qualifies for it because they don't.
So,
the problem is that, and I'm not going to go long. I'm just going to say this one sentence: is they don't build anyone up in a AEW. The only people they build up is the guys who they want the main event. They don't NXT slowly builds everybody up over time. AEW is we'll build the elite.
And they have a lot of like, and see like what also like the big difference is that AEW like brings a lot of guys that already have name value. So of course you got to put them right away instead of building them up. They got to be like where they were in the other company. For example, Brian Cage, that's a main event guy. Why are you going to put him, like in like just a rising star? You got to put him right in the main event.
Imagine if he beats John Moxley. Imagine if he beats John Moxley, but Tessa Blanchard beat him. Tessa Blanchard is better than John Moxley.
One company to other company, but that's how pretty much it needs to happen. You even said it in the review. It needs to happen because it's like, are you going to keep jobbing these main names? Why you spend your money? Why Tony Khan is giving money to these guys to come and lose? So, that's what it is, family. Thank you so very much for watching every single one of the videos. Please comment, also subscribe for the ones that don't, that are just finding us out right now. Jump Paul, where they can find us in the social media.
I was going to say, and subscribe here on the original Rope Break on YouTube, and then find us on Facebook and Instagram, both the same thing, the original Rope Break, and then on Twitter, the OG Rope Break.
That's right. That's all you need to do. And see, Jean Paul and me, I think there's only one more thing that is left to say for us, and we'll see you guys for Smackdown. So, Jean Paul, let's do it. Charge it. 1 and